And we are recording.
Okay, call this meeting to order at 10 o'clock. Join me in the pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have an agenda approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. The vote.
Commissioner Sporliter,
Yes.
Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Commissioner Waddell.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. Consent agenda.
On today's consent agenda, I have the March 17th meeting minutes. I have the March 24th meeting minutes, and I have a invoice for sound panels for the Raymond Aguirre Community Center.
Motion for the consent agenda.
Make a motion to accept the consent.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Mr. Sporliter,
Yes.
Mr. Chamberlain,
Yes.
Mr. Waddell.
Yes.
Motion passes.
On to appointments.
Patrick,
Patrick? Yeah.
Morning, commissioners. Nice to meet you.
This week.
I'm Patrick Ortiz. I'm the Soundless Valley Region Outreach Director for Senator John Hickenlooper. I'm based in Monte Vista, and I cover 9 counties, 6 in the Soundless Valley, Park, JP, and Huerfano. Antonio Huerta changed to another job, so now I'm covering Huerfano for our office. So appreciate the opportunity to share a few updates. I'm one of 9 regional directors across the state. Regions of various sizes, and our main mission is to support stakeholders like the various counties and nonprofits, local organizations, any way we can here in our community. We try to be a bridge between stakeholders in the office and keep you informed on legislation, funding opportunities, policy changes. Please reach out to me. I'll leave some cards here. But yeah, appreciate Carl getting me on the agenda today. So for the 119th Congress, Senate committee assignments are the same from the last 4 years. He's on energy and natural resources, commerce, science, and transportation, small business, entrepreneurial, and health, education, labor, and pension, or the health committee. And these committees kind of go based off his governor, his committee's assignments, put him in a position over the last 4 years to celebrate a lot of policy successes in a bipartisan manner to deliver for all Coloradans. Some of those programs have been apprentice programs, public lands, Space Command, the CHIPS and Science Act, the PACT Act, which is super critical for veterans across the country, and the bipartisan infrastructure package, as well as the Inflation Reduction Act. Some of those key accomplishments in commerce, science, transportation. He led a subcommittee hearing on AI, chaired the space and science subcommittee, and contributed to the bipartisan CHIPS Act. The health committee, he helped lower drug costs and led efforts to regulate pharmacy benefit managers on energy and natural resources. He played a key role in authoring the Inflation Reduction Act, which invested $1.7 billion in Colorado. He also worked on clean energy strategies, critical minerals policy, and Western water solutions. On the Small Business and Entrepreneurship Committee, he focused on cybersecurity for small businesses and introduced laws to help small businesses access retirement plans and benefiting over 680,000 businesses in Colorado. Just want to let you know, I was able to get to the Cuchara ski area a few times this last winter, so congratulations on that. Really cool operation up there. Yeah, so I think one of the things this last year, we were happy to bring $500,000 for improvements for the Spanish VA clinic. Yeah, just want to continue bringing funding as much as we can. We have another CDS cycle for fiscal year 2027 happening right now. Some other projects we were able to bring in across my region were the Alamosa Incident Management Communication System for Adams State University, which improved emergency communications to help first responders operate more effectively in that region. The Alamosa Levee Rehabilitation and Recertification Project, it focused on flood protection and water infrastructure. Also the Senior Resource Center, South Central Colorado Seniors, got about $800,000 to finish up facility down there for mobilizing, food service and activity center for seniors in that community, as well as the PALS child care facility. So child care access for kind of low income individuals there. And then, recently, Senator Hickenlooper introduced the Afford Act in February this year. It's a bipartisan bill to strengthen community development financial institutions, or CDFIs. The bill was designed to increase access to loans and investment in rural, tribal, and underserved areas, help small businesses grow and create jobs in places that often struggle to get traditional financing. So trying to target economic development in rural communities specifically. On the waterfront for rural communities, he recently reintroduced the Water Project Navigators Act. It would fund specialists or navigators to help rural towns, states, and tribes apply for and win federal project funding, federal water project funding, and the goal is to improve water efficiency, drought resilience, and infrastructure areas where rural communities, are often lacking in that administrative capacity. And as you all know, I just, was hearing on conversation before, this is especially important for drought-prone areas like ours. Wanted to touch real quick on tariffs. Senator Hickenlooper welcomed the Supreme Court decision to strike down President Trump's illegal tariffs and called on the Trump administration to promptly repay businesses the $175 billion they've been taxed and help relieve the increasing prices their tariffs have caused for Americans. A quote from the senator: President Trump's tariffs were blatantly illegal from the start, made life unaffordable for working families and small businesses. The Supreme Court confirmed today that tariffs are taxes and only Congress can set them. On the water and ag front, I just wanted to highlight the Snow Water Supply Forecasting Reauthorization Act of 2025, bipartisan legislation designed to modernize and extend the Bureau of Reclamation's program for measuring snowpack and predicting water supply. We're still accepting endorsers in Colorado. So right now, Representative Hurd introduced it and it passed in the House in December 2025. And it's right now in the Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee. So we'll keep you posted as that hopefully moves forward. Another water, I mentioned the water projects Navigators Act, so I'll skip that. And then lastly, what I wanted to highlight is Senator Hickenlooper introduced the bipartisan E-Permit Act, which would modernize and streamline federal permitting processes. So the bill would replace outdated paper applications and some of the siloed permitting processes with an online interactive platform for submitting applications and tracking federal permitting processes to help lower costs and increase transparency for the public. And that's all I have right now, but if there's any questions, I can try to answer them, or otherwise I can hopefully see you again here soon. And please reach out if we can help in any way.
Thank you. Thank you for coming down.
Yeah, thank you for coming down.
Yeah.
Senator, thank you.
Yeah, will do. My dad was actually born in Walsenburg, and I still have family near Aguilar area, so
Cool.
it was kind of cool to get this county. And appreciate your time today. And, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have permits, licenses, and public hearings.
Sure.
Morning, Commissioners.
So this letter is concerning, bulk water 26-00056. The property is located at 510 Texas Road in Walsenburg, and it's also a Major's Ranch. They are requesting water as an alternate water source. Upon inspection, there were no code violations. The lot has one residential and one outbuilding. On the permit, it says that it's to be a county resident rate. It will be a non-county resident rate. And staff recommend that for the water to be issued. Any questions?
Yes, I have a question about the number. We were advised earlier that it should be 0006 instead of 56
That's for the
for the bulk water.
okay. Thank you. I thought it was looking at the number.
No violations or anything.
No.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve bulk water permit number 260006.
Thank you, Jen.
Second.
Easy for me to say.
Got a motion and a second. Any question? Call for the vote.
Commissioner Spillier,
Yes.
Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next, we have land use 25035 Camp Alderwild public hearing. Okay, so this is a hearing before the Board of County Commissioners for a temporary assembly permit submitted under section 1.13 of county land use regulations. In this hearing, the board will consider land use application 25-035, temporary assembly permit for Camp Alderwild, submitted by QTB LLC, doing business as, forgive me, Cervantes Masterpiece Ballroom. Sherry Chamberlain will be the appointed hearing officer and will conduct the meeting.
Commissioner Wood. So public hearing procedures, I'm going to call the public hearing to order at 10:14 a.m. Okay, so I'm just going to remind everybody of the public hearing process. I will present the staff report. Any questions from the county commissioners will be directed to us and the applicant, or to me and the applicant. Applicant will present additional information and answer questions. In the public comment period, it'll be 3 minutes per speaker. And I forgot my phone to time it. Applicant opportunity to respond to comments or answer additional questions. We'll then close the public hearing and the BOCC can discuss the case. With this application, Scott Morrell, manager on behalf of QTV LLC or DBA Cervantes Masterpiece Ballroom. The applicant requests the following: temporary assembly permit pursuant to land use regulations section 1.13 for gathering of 7,500 patrons and 1,000 staff to host a group gathering in the form of a 3-day music festival called Camp Alderwild. Festival would be Friday to Sunday. There is a request to have an early camping night with no music to help spread traffic during the ingress to open campground on Thursday. The site is addressed at Hummingbird Ranch, 732 County Road 653, Rye, Colorado. The subject property is zoned agricultural. Zoning standards is in land use regulation section 1.03. The land use code has been referenced in 1.05, 1.113, 1.1304, and 1.13.05. The applicant has stated that the nature of the assembly is a 3-day music festival called Camp Alderwild. There'll be live music, food trucks, vendors, and workshops. The maximum number of people for this event is 7,500 patrons and approximately 1,000 staff, including artists and vendors. The stage sound systems are provided by professional sound companies and are located at the stages on the venue map. The stage locations have been selected in an effort to situate them on the site in a way as to contain sound as much as practical. The applicant has stated that they will cease noise at midnight. The applicant has stated that they will follow all fire restrictions that are in place at the time. They also would like to do a communal fire pit. All information can be found in the attachable application. In order for the temporary assembly permit to be issued, the criteria set forth in land use regulations section 1.13.04 must be met. The application was deemed complete on January 26, 2026. Notices were sent out to the referral agencies on January 27th, and the responses were returned back to Huerfano County Land Use and Building Department by March 3rd. An extension was requested and comments were due by March 12th. We received comments back from 8 different agencies. Our emergency services director did, our emergency services manager did reach out to the landowner to access the property, and he was unable to at that time. They were going to try to work out a time at the later date. So the public hearing notice was posted on the Huerfano County website on March 19th, posted to social media on March 19th. Certified letters were mailed to the adjacent property owners on March 23rd, and a public hearing sign was placed at the property on March 25th. There is a list of the referral agencies that were contacted. And did you want me to go through the conditions now? Okay. Staff recommends approval with conditions listed and any other conditions imposed by the Board of County Commissioners, as well as other state and local agencies. Denial must be based on conditions outlined in the land use code. Commissioners, do you have any questions for the applicant?
Went over your packet. It looks like it's fairly well organized. Only question I had was a concern from CPW on bear-proof trash containers.
So everyone put the applicant present.
Oh, okay.
Last questions.
Absolutely.
Actually, if you want to, right there, the
Okay.
There's a mic.
area mic right there. We'll pick it.
Commissioners, it's good to be here. Been appearing before this board for over a decade now on different events that have taken place at Hummingbird Ranch. The landowner, Jamie Janover, is here. Just to clarify, when the event that took place there called Sonic Bloom, that was an event that Mr. Janover owned, as well as being the landowner. This is a different promoter. Mr. Morrell here owns a venue in Denver and also does some work for AEG. He's known for developing young artists and brings them along. One of those artists is an artist known of the Trees, who Mr. Gowen represents, and his management company represents, and they produce a festival for their artists. The act has grown in popularity. They currently last year, and then again this coming summer, they're doing their festival in Telluride. They did it last summer, went really well. Of course, there was, anytime there's an event like this, there's some concerns, but it came off very nicely, so much so that the town of Telluride has asked them to come back. That development, along with just not knowing where we were as far as permitting here in Huerfano County, led us to push our dates back, not from this summer to next summer. The applicants have visited and observed other events here and determined that for a lot of different reasons, this would be a superior place to host this over Telluride. It's a lot more accessible to their patrons. Frankly, being at a little bit lower elevation in the fall, the weather's nicer. In Telluride, it could get pretty cramped as far as the camping situation. A lot less acres available. So just all around, I think this would be a more attractive place to host, and they would be excited to welcome their fan base here to Spanish-speaking country. I guess so. They have some experience with the site, but certainly they would have Mr. Janover, and they've tasked myself to kind of tap into the institutional knowledge that's involved with hosting events on the site. We have some experience with that we can, help them with some best practices should a permit be approved. So they will be not starting from scratch as far as that goes. But it's different applicants than it's a different event than Sonic Bloom. One of the and I guess one of the things that differentiates this in an effort to kind of, again, differentiate and also kind of as a preemptive compromise, if you will. Some difference between this and Sonic Boom is this is basically a 3-day event rather than a 4-day event. They are, and one correction I would have from the staff report, and I think if we look at our sound plan and some of the other things, they're proposing to, at Sonic Boom, the main stage, which is obviously the big sound system and most exposed, that went until 2 a.m. They're proposing to end that at midnight. They would still like to have programming at some of the stage that's in the tree area where sound gets absorbed. They recognize that there's a sound ordinance that's been passed by Huerfano County since then. 2101, I believe, is the number. I don't know what it's been codified as. I can't admit that to memory, but they understand that will mean the sound drops down to 50 decibels, which is, frankly, the wind is going to be about 50 decibels out there most nights. But the bottom line being at the property line, at the closest neighbors, that means that it should basically be whatever programming they have after midnight should be essentially inaudible at that. They're committed to that. So much so that they're looking at putting in infrastructure like a tent where they could enclose that would help mitigate the sound. So they're really taking efforts to kind of scale things back a little bit. They are asking for for 7,500 patrons, and then about another 1,000, which would be ours. So that number is probably going to be a little higher than what we'll actually consume, but the number of people, there are people in and out and stuff like that. But as far as tickets sold, that would be where they're at. They do relate that is kind of, hey, that would be great if we could, and the infrastructure scales up accordingly as tickets are sold. The event in Telluride was at about 4,500 people. It may take, they would like to do this as an annual thing here in Spanish-speaking country, make this a home, but the first year it'll be a challenge for them to get to 7,500, but they are asking for that to be the upper limit of what they could sell if need be. I don't necessarily want to go through everything that was in the packet. I'll say that for questions. I didn't make some of the things in public comment we'll want to spend a little more time on. I would like to introduce Mr. Ragovin. Again, he'll kind of be the festival director. He is and he represents the applicant. This is kind of a partnership between Mr. Murillo's company, which is a promoter. They own venues in Denver and also produce festivals both here and in Mexico, and then the artists. So,
I'm Jay Ragovin. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate all of your time. I'm the festival director for Camp All the World and manager of the Trees, a headlining artist and curator. I'm 41 this week. I have over 20 years of experience in the music and live events industry. Spent 8 years with C3 Management, producers of iconic festivals like Austin City Limits and Lollapalooza, before launching Compass Music Group, my company, in 2021. Our focus is on creative freedom, community, and long-term sustainability for artists. Over the years, I've produced more than 2,000 events across the U.S. I'm also a Colorado resident. Camp All the World is designed as a full weekend experience that connects music with nature and the local community. In our first year, we included fly fishing workshops, yoga, and meditation led by locals, guided hikes, and partnerships with local businesses. Our audience is primarily between 25 and 44, and after a successful first year, as mentioned, with no safety issues, we were invited back with strong community support. We placed a big emphasis on educating attendees to respect the land and community, and we aim to leave every site better than we found it. Over the past 2 years, we've raised more than $55,000 for environmental causes and over $18,000 for local initiatives in the Telluride area, which we would certainly repeat and look to increase if we are approved here. We also had an over $2 million positive economic impact in 2025 in the greater Telluride area. Tyler Coombs, aka of the Trees, is an internationally touring artist, sold at Red Rocks in 2023 and again in 2024 on 2 nights. He's also a longtime Colorado resident and avid outdoorsman. Our goal is to build a positive long-term partnership that supports both the local community and its economy. Thank you for your time, and I'm here for any questions you have.
Okay, I have to ask my fair question. So the CBW has a concern with black bears, getting in the trash. Looking at all the different, your overall plan, you addressed a lot of the issues that we have concerns about. I just didn't see anything there on how you're going to keep the bears out of the trash.
Yes, and that would have been something that we responded to. I'm trying to find it here. I think it would be at the end of the document that is the agency comments. We did just so you're aware that is something we addressed. For that, essentially, we're adopting a lot of those recommendations. We plan to adopt wildlife manager's recommendations to one, have covered dumpsters or otherwise secure them with temporary electrical vents. Require food operators to secure food stocks overnight after they close. Advise campers to store track ins and airtight containers inside their vehicles rather than in a tent. And basically, generally advise campers to keep their campsite tidy, not to leave the track ins open and unattended. We will also take CBW up on their offer to have some signage about bear safe behavior. This is the first time that that Hummingbird Ranch has posted something in August, and of course with this, on when it comes to wildlife, certainly when it comes to fire, those kind of things, a lot of it's going to be what are the conditions on the ground at the time. If we're still in this terrible drought, that's going to affect a lot of different things. Bears may be foraging a lot wider if there's not a stock of fruit, upstairs, up on the mountain. Mr. Janover would relate, and I think most of the neighbors said it. Right now, it's rare for bear to come down that far. Certainly, the number of people and the sound coming from the stage is probably not going to attract them over the weekend, so that does mitigate things a little bit during the day. But there's recognition that that's later in the year. They're trying to consume calories. Got to be a little bit more bear wise when it comes to that during that time of year, especially depending on what the conditions are. We have had similar advisements from CPW for events that happened in June and July, and took they weren't quite as strong then as far as what their concerns were, but it is something that we haven't had observed. It's what we had one ranger explain to us is if you were doing this and it was an established campground and this was something that was happening regularly throughout the summer, especially throughout the fall, bear might get a feel for it and say, oh, that's a place where I can go for food. When it's something that's a pop-up for 3 days essentially, and then it's gone, that probably it may not get on their radar. They're not towards that far down when unless they've learned that that's a place to go, and they won't have had an opportunity to learn that. That said, we're still adopting those recommendations.
And just to add to that, we actually sent all of the ticket holders a map of the local area of Telluride that included information and education about animal safety. And each night at the end of the headliner set, he actually got on the mic and talked to the patrons about keeping the area clean. It was something that was brought to my attention by the other organizers for Camp Old World this year, Planet Bluegrass. They actually mentioned that the campgrounds were cleaner than what they experienced for their yearly bluegrass event, which was big. We'd be happy to do that again this year, obviously, or next year for this.
Those kind of things are really impactful when we come from the efforts.
And the only question I have is, do you have any comment on the list of conditions?
Yes, and a lot of it's just kind of clarification on condition number 2. Again, that was something I mentioned, that we were talking about the main stage ending at or about midnight. And when I say about, say sometimes the last song goes to 30 seconds over or a minute over, something like that. But it's scheduled to midnight. We're not started before the anything like that after midnight. Sometimes it goes over by and then just that correction being that there could be programming that could be somebody playing an acoustic guitar, but that's still through an amp on stage. Not looking to have big shows after midnight or anything like that, but there could be programming that continues. Frankly, we found that that's a good way to kind of ease out of the night if there's some mellow things going around site, rather than just everybody get out and go to your campground. If there's some programming around there, that kind of just helps things kind of calm down a little bit more organically. So that would be one thing we would have on a lot of the things about. There was we did have something where if conditions allowed for it, we would like a communal fire pit. That's really not that, frankly, not that important. And a lot of this on fire would be something where we would like the flexibility to work with the fire protection district to tailor what's appropriate for the time. We do, regardless, plan to adopt most of what is in a stage 2 fire ban, as far as not allowing any campfires at people's camps or anything like that. The only open flame would be on like a propane fuel little cooking grill or something, on and off switch, those kind of things, adopting those. But we would, basically it's going to be, we need to work with the fire protection district to and we may need to be a little bit more restricted than a stage 2, depending on where we're at. Even if the county isn't in one, it may be appropriate for an event to do some things differently. And I guess as far as that goes, we'd also, I believe there's a condition that the fire protection district would need to have equipment stationed there. We're going to want that unless the weekend is basically raining the whole time. And then we would like the chief to be able to make a decision that, okay, everything's pretty saturated. I don't know if I need to have my guy, this many guys out here right now. So just giving the fire protection district some leeway and in the conditions to make the decision that they feel are appropriate based on the conditions that we're experiencing at the time, which are well over a year off. So it's hard to say right now. Hopefully they're going to be a whole lot better than what they are now. I would have, I think we would maybe want to work on language that there's always been. So for the last, when the first permit for the first event out at Hummingbird Ranch was approved, there was kind of a grand bargain, if you will, to some extent, that, okay, the neighbors, you're going to have some increased traffic. You're going to hear music off in the background. But the road's going to be a little improved for the rest of the year. That's something where here we have the language kind of says that, I guess, to read the condition and discuss a couple of things. Applicant will develop a road impact mitigation plan that ensures county roads are restored to their original condition after the event. There's a chance that we may make a decision that the applicant might say contribute to a road impact fund that would help offset some of the county's costs. Continue, like right now, about half of Lascar has been treated with mag chloride, and then further up the mountain, it's untreated. Where maybe we would help carry that on a little farther. But I guess the language for restored to their original condition after the event, if we improved it, we would like to leave those improvements in place, obviously. So rather than trying to strip the mag chloride off, or, you know, and I think obviously that makes sense. It also in that condition says the county may require a road use agreement subject to approval by the Board of County Commissioners. I would think that maybe that's something we should try and figure out as part of these conditions rather than, I'm not sure what process, like a subsequent approval process for road use agreement would go through. Certainly the applicants would like to start building towards being able to, when they have their event, then announce this one and stuff. So hopefully not kicking any approval that, you know, hopefully we're dealing with that as part of this permitting process would be my suggestion and a more appropriate way to do it. So, and I don't know if it's something where I guess they have to, and it's a ways out. And, you know, I don't know if that mag chloride that's went up that far was part of a road impact fee that was charged to a different business that's up there that may have employees coming in day after day year round, or, you know, how that decision's made. I would say certainly we want to, it shouldn't be something where we're having an event out there, leaves the road in worse condition. And that's something applicants understand, but how far that, you know, how much of an additional tax is assessed to a single applicant or a single business is something that I think we consider. But that would be another condition that I think we might want to do some wordsmithing on. Otherwise, it's all, you know, as far as the bond and the insurance and those kind of things, working with the sheriff's office, those are all things that there's a model for that's been established with other events that have happened there. Workable. Sheriff knows us and kind of knows how a good way to staff it. So all those kind of things are workable and appropriate. Specifics for us.
And just some clarifications for me. I had some comments brought to me from some of the local landowners around the area. And this permit is just for the weekend, correct?
Correct, yes.
And because one of the things, and you know, like any other event that happens in the county, rumors fly rampantly. The rumor was that this was going to be a 10-year permit and that the road was going to be paved from I-25 all the way up to help mitigate any damage. And so when I was brought that, I was like, well, that's news to me because we haven't discussed anything like that and haven't heard anything like that. So I was just bringing up those concerns.
That would be news to us as well.
And with the road conditions as well. Yeah. If the road conditions before is it's all washboardy from I-25 all the way up there, yeah, I would prefer you not put it back in that condition.
Yes. And I guess they're also just to draw your attention, it's not one of our conditions or one of the conditions that would necessarily come from the board today, but we do need to have a further conversation with CDOT. They had suggested doing an impact assessment that is more akin to what would be done if we were developing this into a, you know, established venue that was going to host lots of events all summer long, and it was going to be a permanent development. I think maybe there was a misread of maybe they had that impression as well, that it's something more than a special event, and we're going to have a discussion with them about looking again at the special event criteria rather than development criteria. But they don't want to talk to us about it unless there's local approval. So we haven't started that process.
Carl, you have a question?
Yeah, I was going to ask. I appreciate your paperwork there. You answered a lot of the questions that I had from the onset. But I did want to address a little bit of the one of the things is the contact of the other neighbors on the area. I see that you did have certified mail to the very localized people, but has there been any reach out to the frankly the people that had a lot of the problems with Sonic Bloom and previously in that development further south and east? Has there been any contact with that community?
To my knowledge, no, there hasn't. There was a change in the land use code that put the responsibility for issuing the notices on the county. We haven't done anything beyond the notices between the public notice in the paper and the county's notifications.
Okay. And then also, we were talking about the roads a little bit, and I believe our road and bridge manager was talking about mag chloriding the road prior to as opposed to at the end of, but prior to it, to keep the dust mitigation down and try to hold the road together a little bit better. Would you have any concerns about doing that before the event?
No, in my understanding from conversations with Road and Bridge in past years is that's when they would like to do it. One, it mitigates dust, and two, it just it prevents damage. It's and what we have observed out there is the mag chloride. It holds up really well. It's actually, and I think they'll find the fact that you have that amount of traffic on it soon after it's laid actually is can be a good thing for it. So you can actually strengthen it. So that's something that to my understanding is the best practice, is to do that work before the event.
Okay. Very good. And then also with the water division, have you looked at who you would be working with for the 6,000 to 10,000 gallon water tanks to be able to supply your potable water? Have you looked at who could do that around here?
Yeah, those are generally supplied by a contractor, somebody like McDonald Farms or something like that, who has potable water tanks. We rent them from them, and then we hire a hauler that will generally bring it from a municipal source. In the past, it's come from Pueblo Municipal Water, I believe is what was used. We did use City of Walsenburg water maybe 7 or 8 years ago for some of the early events that took place out there. Then our hauler had an allotment that they could use, so they use that a lot. So
okay, all right, and let's see. Yeah, obviously you need permissions to be able to get with CDOT, but just as a side note, I used to love Austin city limits, so that's kind of fun. Yeah, something to do with that. Okay, that's the main questions I was having.
Any more questions from the board?
Can we get some clarification on what you brought up about a produce agreement?
So since this is a 1.5 years out-ish, we've usually in these conditions given an amount they have to pay. I don't feel comfortable doing that. Price of mag could spike, it could drop. So what I've changed this to is basically, yes, mag chloride has to be applied to the road. If they want to propose anything additional to that, they can. And if they propose something that is, say, more complicated than just mag or more basic than that, a road use agreement would basically give us the chance to enshrine that into an agreement. It's not necessarily a chance to take away an approval that's already been granted without going through the standard process, but it's a way of making sure that if the road impact strategy is more complicated, that we can have it in writing.
I guess the applicant would like some certainty around that, and just as frankly a question of fairness, we are going to generate, this is say there's 5,000 people that they're going to come in and out. That's 10,000 trips up and down the road. I don't know exactly how that would compare to say a ranch that has, 5 hands out there on mostly a daily basis and does that 365 days a year. For the math to be done on that, my thought would be we do generate this is going to generate a lot of sales tax revenue for the county, much like other businesses that are up there. I think maybe it's fair for an applicant that's having an event up there to have to shoulder a disproportionate amount of the expense that's associated with the road. I don't know that it's fair for an applicant to have to shoulder all of the expense that's associated with maintenance of the road. Again, this is a county thing. I know we've, yes, the price of mag chloride does vary. I've talked with, as far as there's a line item pulled in the budget for $20,000 for road impact. I don't know if that's, if that's an amount that the county would be open to, but that's kind of something that the applicant's been budgeting for, knowing that, it should, and that's kind of, if we were looking at it's basically making it a $2 toll for the vehicles that come in. And it actually probably be a little higher than that because a lot of people are called carpool, but we are kind of thinking for a vehicle trip, we kind of put a number on it and arrive at a line item for that. But I know it's tough. The cost is going to vary, and that certainly would not cover it. You understand that? I don't know how much of the road will, as of right now, a lot of it, I drove it this morning, it's pretty good for a lot of the way. And then where the treatment ends, then it's untreated county road. So, but I agree that it's hard to say right now where it's going to land, but the applicant would like certainty.
Any other questions from the board?
None for me.
Okay, we will now receive public comment. Do we have public comment in the room? Could you please come to the podium, state your name?
My name is, excuse me, my name is Ray Garcia. I've come here maybe as a former county commissioner. Probably speaking in favor of this proposal. You're talking about a rumor that about 10 years, maybe that was started by me some time back, because I brought this up to the fact that if you could get a volume of permit fees and stuff like that coming in, the cost of mag chloride, because we're the ones that started this mag chloride. And mag chloride, actually, you start putting that down for 2 to 3 years before you pave. That sets the road better, the road base better for paving. And knowing full well that in paving a road reduces the maintenance cost for the county, because then you don't have to be out there several times a year grading, wearing out equipment, wearing out blades. So this is one of the things I thought that might be a good thing, but that's just one of them. Okay. When we first started this, we first approved this, as I was commissioner at the time, there was a lot of opposition to this, to the festival that they were having. And I could understand it, especially the people that are close by. I guess the thing that swayed me at the time to vote in favor of it was the fact that we had a lot of business people come to us and said, we can use the business in this county. So would you be willing to do it? So we did. Actually, that first year, it raised the sales taxes alone for about a week, $10,000 to $15,000, which is a good boon for the county. It brought in a lot of, all the hotels were full. The grocery stores ran out of food, especially vegetables. Liquor stores ran out of liquor. I did attend these festivals just to see what they were like and stuff. I guess I could say I'm not one for people drinking and doing drugs, but I think there was more liquor consumed on that site than there was illicit drugs. It did come out to be a fairly good festival, even though, like I said, there was a lot of opposition to it. And I think that this county, we need some kind of a source of income. If it would help raise our tax base, I think it'd be a good thing. And I know you're going to have opposition. You have opposition to everything you come across. I know that. But sometimes a few might have to suffer a little bit for the greater good of the county. And that's why I come to you. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ray.
My name is Al Garcia. I live a quarter of a mile from where they have the festival. I've always supported it. I think it's good for the county. It brings in revenue to the county. They actually hire locals where they're there, and they've been mag chloriding the road. I have a suggestion that you give them more years, like 10 years, and have them provide the tar it would take to put 3 layers of chip down for 7 miles of that road. And it would be fixed for the next 10 years. So we wouldn't have this mag chloride problem. I think that's one thing that we could probably do. I'd be willing to chair a committee for the county to look at all the costs and work on it. Okay.
Thank you.
My name is Alice Potter. I live in one of the areas that was not told about this happening. I understand it's the law, it's not on you, whatever. 5 days is not enough time for any of us to be able to come together and come up with anything. We had no idea this was happening. A few things, since I only have 3 minutes. The mitigation, I'd like the mitigation of fire. I want it to be built in there that I know you're saying you're gonna go to, I want the wording to be definitive that the mitigation happens. That we go in and we make sure that any place there's a vehicle, especially with this new van one, I know that can't be done now, but is happening because fires, as we have seen a month ago, can happen quickly and can spread quickly. I want to know what the plan for an emergency is because once again, it's a one-lane road. If a fire was to start, how are people going to get in and out? The idea that ranchers go up there and have tons of hands, we are mainly a homesteading area. I'm the only one on my 300 acres. I know a bunch of other people too. There are not many cars driving up and down our area. 2,000 cars up, 2,000 cars back. That is months of things happening. So right now the road is sort of, it just got done. And yes, it's a little slidey. The mag chloride would help that. It would keep safety of everything happening. I'm just going to keep saying this. If we're looking about tax money, if this is going to be used as mainly a venue and a business and not agricultural, why are we not taxing agricultural on land? We all have to prove what we do and spend most of our year building a case to why we deserve that. Why are they not paying their taxes, which would help pay for a lot of these things that they're trying to get out of right now? Only 28 to 30 security people for 6,000 people. I think that was the number, somewhere around there. That's one for every 600 people. That's a little ridiculous if you ask me. Who will be policing the sound? Will there actually be things happening? Because the last time people were policing the sound, we tried to call. No one answered. No fines were sent out there. Respecting the community. If there was respect for this community, people would have come down and told us what was happening and talked to us, rather than giving us a short time. I just found out about this last night. I feel that's a little bit ridiculous to the neighbors and saying that you want to be a part of the community. And talking about a 10-year plan without actually talking to anybody else is a little ridiculous as well. And finally, on the bears come down all summer long. My neighbor, who I'm sorry passed away earlier this month, had pictures all summer long of bears coming down and drinking out of his water, eating things. I've had bears go through trash and rip off those bear-proof things. It is not a, oh, but will they, won't they will be down there, and it is dangerous. So I want to make sure that everything is protected and thought of as if we are always under constant fire danger, because we are. Even if we get a bunch of rain, we know the winds can pick up in this county and all of a sudden cause fire to happen. I'm sorry, I'm the only person from the group of people who would have opposed this who had the time to come here, because we did not know that this was happening. I really appreciate your time, and I'm sorry if I'm a little intense. I'm just a little bit angry that I just found out about this last night and had to come up with a defense for something that apparently has been being planned for a while. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
We also have a comment online as well.
So we'll get to the comment anyway.
I'm Keith Wiggins. I own a ranch that joins Jamie's place, and I've seen this going for years and years, and I want to talk in support of it. I even let them use part of my ranch as a staging area to make sure that they pull their cars in to make sure people don't take glass and stuff like that up to the venue. But I am very how can I say this? I'm very confident that these people know what they're doing. They've been doing it for a long time. And I've been to a lot of these venues just to see what was going on. And every time I went up there, and if I saw something that wasn't right, I told them about it. They fixed it. So I want to encourage you to allow them to do this. And as far as knowing about this, about whether or not this is going on, I found out about this 6 months ago. So the word's been out that something's going to happen. I don't know why somebody thinks they just found out about it 5 days ago.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ryan Geese, I'm a county resident. I'll start off by, I am in full favor of the event at the ranch. I've spent years here, 7 years, defending Sonic Bloom and other events in this area. Worked personally within the county regulations, back and forth with the county landowners, obviously other concerned citizens with some of the things. And sorry, I didn't get your name.
My name is Alex Potter.
Alex Potter.
Yeah, I live right off the last car. I even dealing with this sport.
Okay. So
Yes, sir. I just, I wasn't going to say anything, but I was, I don't know, concerned for Mr. Potter's energy, anxiety. I think that there is a lot of work that is being done to mitigate a lot of those issues. It has been year after year of communications with those neighbors, within the county, within the regulations. We're adhering to state submitted levels of those noises and the dust and the road mitigation. I would say that Last Star Road is done maybe twice a year by the county already. That's not a whole lot. I mean, honestly, that's not a lot of work that the county does there. When this event happens, the road is always in better shape than it is normally used by the county. I would say every year that's an improvement. As Ray brought up, the hotels, the grocery stores, the liquor stores, the gas stations, everybody in this area benefits. There's talk of this being, it's Last Star Road, it's only Pueblo people, it's only Denver people. I think the census of these events shows international interest. We have visitors from every state that come here. People travel from Europe, Africa, South America to attend these events. I'm a believer in it. I'm a believer that music changes lives, that this kind of community helps people develop into responsible adults. Maybe not all the time, case included. I would say that the notice was given. This has been going on for months. It was in the newspaper. Those registered mails went out to your direct neighbors. If the neighbors are not communicating to each other, then that is also a problem between neighborhoods. My neighbors communicated to the county every time on a very consistent basis. The fire regulations that we're planning out for a year and a half. I mean, we all know what a year ago we got more rain than ever, and now we're looking at almost a zero snowpack. cannot possibly fight fire a year and a half from now, and would obviously reserve the right for the county to put those regulations in there, 90, 30 days, even 3 days in advance of the event. Again, thank you, Jess, for coming in. Jamie, I know it's been an uphill battle. Again, I'm 100% proponent of these types of events. They can always be done safely. Security levels are determined by the state. Those are things that are not being done by the county. I would just like to take a maybe 10,000-foot view of what we're looking at here today and hope that the county commissioners can make a decision to move this applicant forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Uh,
Request those things to just be a second.
Roger Castle.
Roger, you're on mute.
Roger Castle, can you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay. We live on Lascar Road. I'm Roger Castle, and we live at the west end of 650. We just found out about this last night. We moved here 17 years ago for the peace and quiet of a rural setting, so that our family could enjoy that. And we did not buy property next to a ballpark in Telluride. Our concerns, first about the number of people, 8,500 people. That is a huge number. It's like moving 2 Walsenburgs to 200 acres. It's larger than Sonic Bloom was. Secondly, the number of cars are going to be in the thousands, and on our gravel road. Again, it's larger than Sonic Bloom, and this particular thing plans to have more in and out than Sonic Bloom ever did. Third concern is the fire. The promoters downplay that, talking about extinguishers and mowing and that sort of thing. But they don't live in the fear like we did 1 month ago, when a careless couple camping up there started a fire, and we got calls in the middle of the night telling us to pack our belongings, get ready to evacuate, just quarter mile from our house. And here we're in a situation where they essentially have to guarantee to us that there won't be one careless person among these 8,000 people. Next is the lighting. As I looked at the photos from Telluride event, I see no idea how they can say that this will comply with the county's dark sky regulations. I'm also concerned about the wildlife, not just the bears that are certainly down here at our place every year in August and September, but also the deer as well that are right along the road. In all respects, I think this event will be worse than Sonic Bloom. And that is the Sonic Bloom that was rejected by this board before. I would encourage you to not approve this. And I would just ask the commissioners and anybody else who supports it to say, would you want this event to occur at your house in your rural area? And it's easy to say, well, it's somebody else's problem, but it's our problem, and it's very
Mr. Castle,
concerning to
minutes
our
are up.
neighbors.
Mr.
you.
Castle, your 3 minutes are up. Any other comments online?
No other comments online?
Can I say something?
Hold on 1 second. So Sherry brought to my attention that the notices were not sent out until the 25th. I'm gonna do is ask you to continue this hearing for 2 weeks, and we should renotice it.
We were late because the bar, we forgot about it. It just slipped.
You need to make a motion to do that.
Or do we do that now and wait till the public hearings?
We don't want to end the public hearing, and we don't want to, I don't think we want to have the applicant respond back without it being properly noticed. Just to give them the chance to respond once and not have to go back and forth. Yeah.
Okay.
No, the hearing's not closed, it's continued.
So I will make a motion to continue the hearing to what date?
April 14th.
I make a motion to continue this hearing to April 14th, 2026. To give sufficient time for everyone involved around Hummingbird Ranch to be notified and have time to respond to this permit application.
Second?
I forgot to unmute. Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? None, call for the vote.
Commissioner Spoiler,
Yes.
Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Commissioner Widow.
Yes.
Motion passes. So what we'll do is, as I said, we'll continue the hearing on the 14th. We'll get it renoticed properly. And we'll start again with public comment. And then after that, you guys have the ability to respond. Any concerns, sir?
I just would,
It's not on.
haven't cleared April 14th, yet. There may be a chance, but, some of the, either the applicants or myself may need to appear, by Zoom, because I don't know. I don't have my court.
If you can let me know by Friday, if that works for you, date works for you or not, that will help us out so we can get the notices out in a timely fashion.
Okay. Yeah. We certainly don't want to.
Okay.
All right, with that, we can go to action items again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
So action items, this would be a good time to make the motion for the restrictions.
Thank you. I wish I could get to.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, we can do my coverage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, finished too. Yep. Sure, you doing? Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you so much. I'll get us today. Thanks.
Yes, we're doing action, either actions or doing, what's,
I can forward those staff reports.
all right, so, we're ready for actions?
Action items A, yes, or 7.
First, I have resolution number 26-19, resolution supporting an application to the Colorado Department of Transportation Aeronautic Division grant application. That's their word.
Crap, I zoomed right past it. Yeah, it's the aeronautics grant application.
Mm-hmm.
I will make a motion to approve the aeronautics grant application number 26-19, Colorado Department of Transportation.
A motion, second.
Carl, you muted. Carl's saying something, but we can't hear you. You're still muted, Carl. Somebody's saying something about a button. Is he muted on this side or is he muted on this side?
It's on his side.
Yeah,
It's on your side.
you don't have control.
So Mitchell, you can second.
Okay, I'll go ahead and second this one. Motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Call for the vote.
Commissioner Sporlater, want to give me a thumbs up if you can?
He's shaking his head yes. There's a thumbs up.
Okay. Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Commissioner Wardell,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay.
All right. Then I have for you resolution number 26-20, resolution terminating the declaration of a local disaster emergency due to a major water main break impacting Walsenburg and surrounding areas.
I will make a motion to approve resolution 26-20, a resolution terminating the declaration of a local disaster emergency due to a major water main break impacting Walsenburg and surrounding areas.
I'll make the second. A motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote.
Commissioner Sporlater,
He's thumbs up, yep.
Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Commissioner Wardell,
Yes.
motion passes. All right. And then I have for you a purchase order number 2026-017 for paintbrush therapy services. This is for family developmental support. The proposal is included in your packet. Just as a reminder, we had this comes back from the presentation you guys received in December. We sent it to the Colorado Opioid Advisory Board for their opinion on if this qualifies for opioid funds, and it did. So
I'll make a motion to approve purchase order number 2026017, paintbrush therapy services incorporated.
And what would be a minute?
$48,000
I'll second.
to be covered by the opioid grant money.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote.
Commissioner Sporlater,
Thumbs up.
all right. Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Commissioner Wardell,
Yes.
motion passes. Then I have for you the prepaid vendor run. Where's the amount of the prepaid vendor run? What is going on here? Okay. What is going on?
Wait, what?
Lord. Anyway, okay.
I know. $544.
44, 20.
44. It's on page 211.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
211?
111, sorry.
There's two. Okay, now I see what's happening. All right. Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, so that's the right number there, right?
Yeah, so $1,544.61.
I'll make a motion to approve the prepaid vendor list in the amount of $1,544.61.
I'll second it. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote.
Commissioner Spillier? Thumbs up there. All right.
Thumbs up.
Commissioner Chamberlain?
Yes.
Commissioner Royal?
Yes.
Motion passes. Okay.
Train agrees.
All right. And then your second prepaid vendor run in the amount of $478.94.
I'll make a motion to approve the second vendor run in the amount of $478.94.
Second it. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote.
Commissioner Spillier? Thumbs up. Commissioner Chamberlain?
Yes.
Commissioner Woodall?
Yes.
Motion passes. All right, then I have for you your DHS vendor run in the amount of 27,200. Wait.
It'll be fun.
It will be that train that's like the longest horn blow ever.
New guy.
Yeah, just lay on it. All right. DHS vendor run in the amount of $27,217.27.
That was 217.27.
Yes, 27,217.27.
I'll make a motion to approve the DHS vendor run in the amount of $27,217.27.
Second the motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote.
Commissioner Spillier?
Thumbs up.
Commissioner Chamberlain?
Yes.
Commissioner Woodall?
Yes.
Motion passes. All right, and last but not least, I have your March vendor run for the rest of the county in the total amount of $162,668.91.
I will make a motion to approve the vendor run for March for Huerfano County for $162,668.91.
I'll second it. Any discussion? Hearing none and seeing none, call for the vote.
Commissioner Spillier? Thumbs up. Commissioner Chamberlain?
Yes.
Commissioner Woodall?
Yes.
And just so we know, Carl, that passes, and just so we know, Carl's mic died. That's why he's struggling.
You tried jiggling it?
I think it's built into the computer.
I think it is.
Okay.
Ready for correspondence?
Yep.
All right, just your leave balances as of the last payroll. Public comment.
All right, moving on to public comment. Anyone in the room?
Everyone that's signed up.
Anybody online?
No answers online at this moment.
Move on to staff.
All right, so two things for me. First is that CCI sent out this the survey for county services and budget pressures. I included that in your packet, commissioners. We'll see what becomes of CCI's attempts at getting the state to not do so many unfunded mandates. Also, as I mentioned in the workshop, I spoke with the fire chiefs and they've coalesced around requesting a stage 1 fire restriction, if you are so inclined.
Yes, after seeing what the surrounding counties have been doing and instituting fire bans, I make a motion to move Huerfano County to stage 1 fire ban conditions at the recommendation of the fire chiefs.
I will second the motion. Any discussion?
Just so you know, because we haven't done it since we've actually, I don't think we've done it since we passed our ordinance. The ordinance automatically takes us to stage 2 during red flag or high wind warning days. That's part of the reason why we haven't had to do restrictions. I think the concern right now is primarily people starting campfires in parts of the county, in the wilderness parts of the county, and not and we need some teeth behind enforcing don't start a campfire right now. The concern is about people starting campfires, particularly.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. Seeing none. Call for the vote.
Commissioner Spillier,
Thumbs up.
thumbs up. Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Commissioner Waddell,
Yes.
motion passes. All right. And then in the county attorney's report, the De Herrera case was dismissed by the court, and there, and the attorney the judge granted the defense motions for summary judgment and denied plaintiff's motion for summary judgment. So those that case is over with for now. There is a pending question about if the county wishes to pursue legal fees, which the insurance company doesn't think we need to, but it's ultimately a decision for you guys.
All right. Good. And staff reports,
That's it.
no need for executive session.
Nope.
All right. Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second
Looks
it.
like Carl's got his thumbs up.
Any discussion? Seeing none, hearing none, call for the vote.
Commissioner Spillier, Commissioner Chamberlain,
Yes.
Commissioner Waddell,
Yes.
motion passes.
All right, meeting is adjourned at 11:22.
Way less fun than I thought.
Well, just wait for 2 weeks.
Yeah.